Good afternoon, my friends and family, supporters. I want to thank everybody for signing the petition and keeping this going. For those of you who don't know, I'm Shawn Dandridge, and I'm fighting for my son. I'm fighting for justice for Shawn Fortune. He was just 21 years old when he died suddenly and mysteriously at the Pittsburgh Job Corps Center. And what I uncovered in the months since have shattered everything I thought I knew about justice, about truth, and about the systems we're told to trust. Now, Shawn was there only for, I keep saying 2 days, but it was less than 2 days before I got the call. The medical examiner told me he was found unresponsive. I will never forget that. But now, after reading through his reports, talking to officials, and watching how everyone avoids accountability, especially from the state of Pennsylvania, I realized that wasn't just a soft way to break the news. That was the beginning of a cover-up. Now I'm going to go over the timeline and the medical manipulation that had taken place. The EMS logs show there were delays in the responding to my son. 11 minutes before they arrived, 5 more minutes before CPR even began, and they never used an AED on him. When seconds count, that's the difference between life and death. Yet the official autopsy says no signs of trauma. But the EMS report? It says blood around his mouth and head. My own eyes saw a knot on his forehead, a discolored and broken nose, and a bruised head. Not only that, I saw the blood still leaking out the back, and they tried to keep telling me it was from the autopsy. Now, when I called to ask about it again, the same examiner who said he was unresponsive suddenly wouldn't repeat those words. Why? Because unresponsive sounds like someone who could have been saved. Saying dead means you have to answer questions. They don't want questions. They want silence, which is why when I called Bob Gottschalk, he told me to call the homicide detective, and the homicide detective kept pushing me off with no follow-up. Now, let's talk about names we're not supposed to say. Now, let me be clear about who was involved in my son's case. Stephanie Ballard, the medical examiner who first called me. Dr. Hellman is the one who actually signed off on the death certificate, or on the cause of death, because I still don't have that death certificate yet. Detective Ed Follard, the officer who claimed the swelling and the knot on my son's head was from the autopsy. Bob Gottschalk, the director of the Pittsburgh Job Corps at the time of my son's death. But here's what's crazy. None of their names appear linked publicly to my son's case. I found their names because I was paying attention. Because I knew something wasn't right. So I went and found their names. But if someone tried to research what happened to Shawn, it's like he never existed in their hands at all. And this is all public record that you can find. Now let's go through number 3, the systematic silence of dangerous patterns. Let's zoom out, okay? Shawn wasn't the first death. I want you to understand that. He was not the first death at Job Corps. Far from it. I'm just going to go back to 2023 alone. There were 2,700 plus drug incidents, 6 reported overdoses, 1,800 hospital visits, 372 reports of sexual misconduct, and yet the schools stay open. The directors keep their jobs. The deaths are buried, literally and figuratively. Now, my post about Job Corps on Reddit now is flagged. The petition links are blocked. Their PR team is faster than EMS. And while we're fighting for answers, there are contractors, insurance companies, funeral homes, and federal agencies that all benefit from keeping us quiet. They don't want us to know about liability coverage or key personnel insurance. So I thank God for the profession I'm in right now. or how families sometimes get paid in silence with NDAs while our kids get buried with no justice. Now let's go to a friend just reached out. A friend just reached out and the grief is fresh again. Just today earlier, as I'm posting, everything that I have to post for Shawn, his best friend finally found out what happened. He had no idea. And that's how deep the silence goes. He cried, he broke down, and it ripped his wound back open for all of us because it reopened mine. This isn't just my fight. This is our fight. If they can do this to Shawn, they can do this to any of our children. That's what I want you to understand. So what do? We speak, we sign, we share. Read and share this petition. You have to understand how this can affect you. Just because this happened in Job Corps does not mean it can happen. It can't happen in a public school curriculum. I want you to also leave reviews on Pittsburgh Job Corps, Allegheny Medical Examiner's Office, Ball Funeral Home, and ask them who is going to take accountability for the death of Shawn Fortune. And if you want to support me directly in this fight, my GoFundMe is live. I need security for my daughter. I need help relocating, and I need strength to keep going. I'm not giving up. Not until my son's name is cleared. Not until the system is held accountable. Not until no other mother has to go through this. I definitely want those goals to be met. A new curriculum reform for public schools and better job programs for our youth. This isn't drama I'm causing. This is real life. This is a young man's life, a mother's grief, a system silence. And now it's your story too, because now you know. Help me make sure no one can pretend they didn't. Guys, before I let you go, I just want you to understand. And I feel like this is the reason why there's only 260 something signatures. It's either that or people are just not as passionate about the lives of their children. Guys, I need you to understand that just because this happened at Job Corps does not mean that it cannot happen in any public school setting. That does not just mean public school. It can happen at daycare. It can happen at before school, after school, camp, any type of setting where there are adult staff being responsible for your school-age children. This can happen. Think about the stories we've heard just over the past year with sexual assault, drugs, violence. The same things can happen. Even new ways of introducing your child to different things has been implemented in our schools. So let's not wait until another child dies. The only difference that will take place in these settings is that someone will be able to be held accountable. But let's not wait. Let's protect our youth. Let's fight for our youth. So with fire, I send you the passion, and I'm calling on my warriors. Let's get our rights. Let's make some change. Justice for Shawn. Thank you very much. And until next time.